Hello there, beautiful humans, and welcome to the video. I'm out at a little city park that's about a quarter block in size. I hunted the playground last fall and had some pretty interesting success, found lots of neat little cars and things. So now I'm going to go over the grassy areas. It really rained hard yesterday, so I'm hoping that the signals will pop. Anyway, I'll get back to you at the first plug. My first target is 3 pieces of wire. Wow. Okay, well, hopefully I'll get something more interesting than that. I'm not at all sure what that is, except that it was a big overload iron signal. I didn't break it. It was broken in the plug. Actually, it was almost at the surface, so that looks old, though. Help me out. You know what that is? Please comment. I'm about 2 feet away, and here's another 6 inches worth of it. It's got age on it for sure. This must be more of it. I'm stumped. I have no idea what this is. I'm about 6 feet away from that tree where I found all those pieces, and here's another one. Unfortunately, it's streaming with ants. Red ants too, so I don't know if I'm going to put that in my pouch, but I would like to take it home and see if I can put the jigsaw puzzle together. It's a conundrum. The ground is really tricky today. It's giving me weird signals and it's really hard to balance. This spike sounded like a zinc penny. So, I don't know. I'm just going to have to dig everything that repeats. I could have used this over under the other tree where all the ants were. Defense Max ant trap. What's that doing in a park? Must have come in with a fill. This is a first for me, a railway spike. There is a railway a few blocks north of here, but somebody had to have brought this. Maybe they used the railway spikes to spike out the trees when they planted them. That might be so. Huh, interesting. I'm back around this tree again. And here's another piece of this iron pipe. I'm beginning to think it might be a piece of the old playground equipment. I don't know. It seems very fragile. Maybe it's really old playground equipment. The park must have felt sorry for me digging all that rusty iron, because this is quite a pocket spill. The only thing that would make me happier about it is if it were silver. I'm not greedy. There's a 1996 toonie, I think it's a 95 loonie, a 1978 and a 1984 quarter, and a dateless clad dime. It was a super funky signal, but there was just that little chirp of copper in it that I thought I might dig, and I'm sure glad I did. Woohoo! $3.60. For once I made a decent sized plug and I turned it over and there's a piece of iron. A neat impression there. There's also a bunch of ants. But I have another signal in the plug. So I'm going to have to brave the ants and see what I've got. More of the same. Welcome back, beautiful humans, to the roundup of my hunt at the little park. I found a bunch of iron objects, some of which I know what they are and some of which I don't, so maybe you'll help me to identify them. As for the things I know, the bottle caps, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I found an ant trap. Yeah, Home Defense Max ant trap. What's that doing at the park? Wire, nails. Excuse me, there's this corrugated iron strap. This really looks familiar to me, but for the life of me I can't remember what from. So I'm assuming these 3 chunks are parts of the same thing. These pipes, These were all under a tree and quite shallow. This one you can see has a connector. So it's like a Y joint. Yeah, there's traces of what looks like paint. I don't know. Here's more of the large. It's obviously been whacked many times with the lawnmower. Here's a little piece. And these lengths here, I think these two sort of go together. This one has this weird sort of fancy thing on the top. This looks like a trefoil, which was a design quite often used in churches. I'm wondering, is this part of an old iron fence? I don't know. Here's another piece that's got a curve on it. It also has a little Y joint on it. I really am at a loss as to what this might be. The final piece is this. I mean, it's all bent and twisted. I have no idea. If you think this is part of a decorative iron fence, let me know. If you have any other ideas of what it might be, let me know too. I found two, well, 1.5 railway spikes. And this park is not beside a railway. There's a railway about 3 blocks away. Looks like the Loch Ness Monster. I'm going to soak this one in vinegar and see if I can preserve it. The other one is junk. And part of a square nail. I always seem to find square nails in parks. And I found some coins. I'll take them by denomination. The dime is a 2004, but I'd be hard-pressed to tell you. I think that's the side with the queen on it. Yeah, there's the blue nose. And under this glob of rust, I was able to make out 2004. You'll have to take my word for it. The quarter fared much better. You can tell from the portrait of the queen that this is the solid metal quarter, not the clad. 1978 in spendable condition. Here's another one from 1984. The loonie is one of the early loonies. It's 1988. So that's the solid loonie. And the toonie is in 1996. So I think this might have been a pocket spill. I believe it was, but quite a date range, 2004 back to 1978. So I was certainly glad to have that after digging all this iron. And the ant nest, for heaven's sake. Anyway, if you can tell me about this, please do. It's really bothering me. I'd really like to know what it is. And I'm very fond of railway spikes. I found one when I was a child and I polished it up. I scrubbed it off and I put clear shoe polish on it and buffed it up, and it's still in perfect condition, and I use it to hold my book open when I'm reading at the table. So there you have it, the spoils of my little hunt at the park. Thank you for joining me, and in the meantime, till we meet again, here's Auntie waving goodbye. See you soon.